Hello, welcome back to my channel. For over 4 decades, Steve Lawson's name was synonymous with bold Reformed preaching, theological rigor, and unwavering commitment to Christian ministry. As the former dean of the Master's Seminary and founder of One Passion Ministries, Lawson built a reputation in the evangelical community that seemed nearly untouchable. His frequent appearances at prominent theological conferences, collaborations with well-known pastors like John MacArthur, and a robust catalog of books and sermons made him a spiritual leader who exemplified doctrinal fidelity and personal integrity. However, a shocking revelation has shattered that carefully cultivated image. Reports have surfaced about a 5-year relationship between Lawson, now 73, and a woman in her late 20s, casting an indelible stain on his legacy. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the evangelical community, raising troubling questions about pastoral misconduct, abuse of power, and the need for transparency in church leadership. Phil Johnson, an elder and pastor at John MacArthur's Grace Community Church, initially took to the social media platform X, formerly Twitter, to reveal details of Lawson's inappropriate relationship. However, Johnson later deleted the post, intensifying public speculation. In his since-deleted statement, Johnson disclosed that Lawson only confessed his misconduct after the woman's father confronted him and threatened exposure. What first appeared to be a minor moral lapse quickly unraveled into a deeper crisis, one that challenges the evangelical community's handling of pastoral accountability. This revelation opens a larger narrative about church leadership, the misuse of authority, and the profound consequences of moral failure. The scandal surrounding Lawson, who had long been viewed as a model of pastoral integrity, has raised the stakes for how the evangelical community addresses issues of power dynamics, transparency, and the ethical conduct of its leaders. Steve Lawson's 5-year relationship with a woman in her late 20s has rocked the evangelical world, not just for the moral failure it represents, but for what it reveals about the potential for spiritual abuse and the misuse of authority. Texas, where Lawson's church, Trinity Bible Church of Dallas, is located, has laws criminalizing clergy sexual abuse, but these laws do not extend to California, where the Master's Seminary (TMS) and the Master's University (TMU) are based institutions where Lawson once held significant influence. Phil Johnson's initial revelation and subsequent deletion of his post added to the ambiguity surrounding the situation. In his post, Johnson stated that Lawson informed the elders of Trinity Bible Church about his inappropriate relationship only after the woman's father threatened to expose him. Johnson also criticized the use of the term inappropriate relationship, arguing that it downplayed the severity of the misconduct as if it were merely a case of holding hands. Johnson described the relationship as adulterous in spirit, if not in fact, despite claims from both parties that no physical fornication occurred. The emotional and romantic ties between them were undeniable. This raises questions about the ethical boundaries that pastors must maintain, particularly when there is a significant power imbalance. Trinity Bible Church issued a statement acknowledging Lawson's sin as an inappropriate relationship and announced that he had been indefinitely removed from all ministry activities. However, the statement did not mention the father's threat to expose Lawson, nor did it provide details about the nature of the relationship. This lack of transparency has left many congregants feeling disillusioned and abandoned. At a recent service, Trinity elder Mark Becker addressed the scandal but discouraged questions, urging the congregation to focus on moving forward as a church. One congregant expressed disappointment on social media, stating that he had expected more openness from the leadership. Phil Johnson responded, advising the congregant to stay with the church and speak to the leaders privately before making any decisions about leaving. The failure to provide clear communication has compounded the pain caused by the scandal. When a trusted spiritual leader violates the trust of their congregation, the healing process requires more than disciplinary measures. It demands openness, clarity, and an unwavering commitment to the truth. The fallout from the Steve Lawson scandal extends beyond his local church. One Passion Ministries, the organization Lawson founded, released a statement acknowledging that Lawson had confessed to an inappropriate relationship and was disqualified from ministry. The statement did not provide details about the relationship or clarify whether Lawson was in a position of authority over the woman involved. Similarly, Lanier Ministries, where Lawson served as a teaching fellow, and board member has quietly removed him from its list of fellows but has not made a public statement on the matter. The lack of transparency from these institutions has left many in the evangelical community with unanswered questions. Did the woman have connections to the Master's Seminary or the Master's University? Was the relationship truly consensual, given the significant disparity in age, authority, and power between the two parties? These questions highlight the broader issue of how churches and ministries handle misconduct, especially when it involves high-profile leaders. The scandal surrounding Steve Lawson raises significant theological and ethical questions about pastoral qualifications and accountability. In Reformed circles, leaders are often held to exceptionally high moral standards, particularly regarding personal conduct. The fall of such a prominent figure has forced many to confront the inconsistent application of these standards within the evangelical world. Why do some figures seem to escape public scrutiny while others are held up as cautionary examples? The selective enforcement of accountability within the evangelical community suggests a need for more consistent and transparent mechanisms for addressing pastoral misconduct. The handling of Lawson's case also underscores the importance of safeguarding congregants from the misuse of power by those in leadership positions. The revelations about Steve Lawson's personal life have cast a long shadow over his once esteemed legacy. For decades, Lawson was a towering figure in the evangelical world, known for his powerful sermons on biblical inerrancy, sovereignty, and the gospel. His work shaped countless lives, and many saw him as a model of pastoral integrity and theological precision. However, the question now arises: how should the church deal with the body of work left behind by a disgraced leader? Lawson's sermons, books, and teachings continue to be available on various platforms, despite his removal from ministry. Should his past contributions be erased entirely, or can they still be valuable, even as his personal conduct has been called into question? This ethical dilemma is not unique to Lawson's case. The broader evangelical community must grapple with how to honor the positive contributions of fallen leaders while also holding them accountable for their actions. It's a delicate balance, one that requires wisdom, discernment, and a commitment to integrity. Steve Lawson's fall from grace is not just a story of personal moral failure, it's a story of institutional fragility and the need for radical honesty in the face of scandal. As churches and ministries continue to grapple with these revelations, they must also consider how to better protect their members from the misuse of power by those in leadership. This is not merely about removing a pastor from ministry, it's about safeguarding the integrity of the church itself. For the congregants, students, and colleagues who once looked up to Lawson as a spiritual mentor, this has been a season of grief, confusion, and betrayal. But it's also an opportunity for reflection, reform, and renewal. As painful as this process may be, it's a necessary step toward ensuring that the church remains a place of trust, safety, and accountability. The story of Steve Lawson serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that no leader, regardless of their stature or influence, is immune to the consequences of sin. But it's also a call to action for the church to rise to the occasion, hold its leaders accountable, and foster a culture where truth and integrity are valued above all else. The road to healing may be long, but it must be traveled with transparency, grace, and a firm commitment to uphold the very gospel message that leaders like Lawson once so passionately proclaimed. In the end, the true test of the church's response to this scandal will be found not in its ability to move on quickly, but in its willingness to confront the hard truths, seek justice, and cultivate an environment where spiritual leaders are held to the highest standards of moral and ethical conduct. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe.